Now, KWWL Sports.
Well, if you're like me, waking up this morning definitely felt just a little bit different. Checking the slate of games on your phone and looking at some of those lines, maybe making a couple season predictions, but the Hawkeyes had a big test ahead of them today. I definitely feel very blessed to be in the Sunshine State today, where the sun just set after what was about an 80-degree day. It was very nice. Definitely a different scene that I'm sorry what you guys had to go through in eastern Iowa. Two other places that are pretty far away from each other is Clemson, South Carolina, and Ames, Iowa.
Travis, you got to talk to some of these guys after this one.
Yeah, it was really hard for a lot of these guys. Some of them were holding back tears after the game, but they said what they wanted to focus on is everything that they've done for Iowa State football, and they say they've really left the program in a much better spot than when they started. City High definitely was frustrated after the loss last week, but, you know, like these banners behind me, they want to show what they're about, and they want to be this really strong team that everyone thinks they are, so they were fired up tonight trying to get their mojo back before the start of the playoffs. Skateboarding is an official Olympic sport, debuting in Tokyo this summer. A lot of athletes say this is a dream come true for them, and they hope it inspires people all across the globe to jump on a board.
The sides who are competitive, that grew up in a really competitive family, that want to compete for Team USA. It's been a goal. It's been hung on their wall. They've written down on paper when they were 7 years old and put it on their wall. Those type of athletes are finally get to do something they've always dreamed of.
Hundreds of skaters with Olympic aspirations are taking over downtown Des Moines this week. For nearly all of them, it's the first event with fans in over a year.
It's just something about the crowd that is just like empowering, you know?
The pandemic is also a big reason why the Dew Tour chose Iowa. With looser restrictions than places like California and a new park, tourism group Catch Des Moines extended the invitation.
Our team quickly made the trip out here. The park was covered in snow, but luckily, you know, we trust the renderings.
Now that they're all here, the idea of representing their home country is within reach.
Being on the Olympic stage and like putting the flag around you or stepping up on podium would be amazing. I mean, I've always thought about it.
But they say growing the sport is just as important.
It is very different, you know what I mean? And you know, when they get introduced in through the competitive side, I feel like it gets all turned back to, you know, they do more research. They find out what the other side of skateboarding is.
As a low-cost, accessible sport, they think the spotlight is all they need.
You can skateboard in your kitchen, you can go to a skate park, you can cruise down the street, you can do it anywhere. And I feel like that's why skateboarding is just going to be put on such a pedestal going into this.
You know, I'm not much of a trash talker, I'm more of a reminder.
It does hurt, you know, to know how the Hawkeyes have dominated the series, and the past 5 years have been pretty challenging.
Iowa State fans need this one bad. With their last win coming in 2014, their blood is boiling leading up to the game.
It can be very difficult this week, especially to not unfriend people on Facebook that are on the opposing side, and also to be cordial to some of your neighbors who have the opposing team's flag up. So it can be a challenge.
Evan Brame is an agronomist who graduated from ISU in 2012. Cardinal and gold runs in his family.
My dad went there, my uncle went there, many relatives went there.
Sean Keller studied creative writing at Iowa, but now owns Mosley's Barbecue in North Liberty and Iowa City. Both men respect each other's schools, and we'll leave it at that.
Ames, I think of more of the hard sciences, for sure, ag, etc., but we definitely have a lot more fun in Iowa City.
No matter who you root for, you can't question the passion. And now it's all up to the guys on the field.
There's no doubt in my mind the Cyclones are going to win.
Let's keep the Hawkeye State the Hawkeye State.
6 on 3! 1, 2, 3, 6!
Xavier going for glory against Bondurant Farrar, and they put the pressure on early. A couple shots in the first few minutes, and in the 26th, senior Lincoln Oakley guides the corner into the back of the net to make it 1-0. It stayed 1-0 until the 55th, when Ren Shroud launches this from just outside the box to put the Saints up 2. They could taste victory, and a few minutes later, Xavier reclaims the 2A state crown after finishing runner-up in 2019.
It means everything. It's so sweet because just seeing those seniors being like in tears, and then that brought me to tears, and we're just gonna try and reclaim that what they left off, and thank God we were able to finish that.
That second goal was definitely Sharon's goal, and I think the opponent team kind of went down a little bit after that. Many of those parents I know, for 10, 15 years, and to end up, seniors' careers on this high note is just blessing. So.
Next up, the Trojans of Iowa City West. They had opportunities, but Pleasant Valley goalie Gabe Johnson was nails all afternoon. In the 69th minute, Reese Ward surprises everyone taking this shot, and that, my friends, is a thing of beauty. PV with the late lead, and IC West giving their all to get the equalizer, but no luck. Spartans win, shutting out West for the first time all year.
We talked a lot about giving 100% effort no matter where you're at on the field, and I thought that showed today, even in the running. Maybe not the passing percentage completed, but the heart and the effort and the tackling was all there, and that's something that they can be proud of, that they left it on the field today.
In Des Moines, Travis Breese, News 7, KWWL.